Good morning. Oh, today is October 16th. It's Sunday. I went yesterday and met Ketchup's mom for lunch for the first time. It was rather interesting and very healing. I mean, I appreciated it. I also felt very awkward. And I am just coming to realizing that a lot of situations that I'm in at this current time, I just say it's awkward, but it's just me shifting into this new energy in space and just accept that not everyone's going to understand it. Okay, so yesterday, I've never met his family before his passing. So, any form of relationship that I have with him now, it's after his passing. So, I messaged her and asked if she would like to meet this weekend for lunch, and she had said yeah, and so she had said to meet in St. Joe at El Maggie's. It's one of Ketchup's favorite places, Mexican restaurants. So I was like, sure, most definitely. So I go up there for lunch to meet her, and I was nervous. I don't know why. I mean, I was comfortable in meeting her, but also nervous because I guess the scenario, the situation of just him passed and, facing his mother, and, it's just, what do you, I don't know, you know? So, I mean, I greeted her, we hugged, and then how do you process somebody that you love and their mother handing you in a bottle crushed chips and salsa? He's around my neck here. His dad made this for me, and some of his ashes are in it, and this is one of the shells that was shot at his funeral. That stays on me at all times except when I'm in water. And so I was in hopes to make something a bit more waterproof. And so his mother gave me some of his ashes. And it just, I get this bottle, and I was just like, the weight of it, it was just so, how do I process that? Like, that was mine and his spot. Like, not that particular restaurant, but chips and salsa. Like, he always used to make fun of me because I would, like, try to eat chips and salsa. I would, like, because I've changed on my eating habits, and I went from pescatarian to vegetarian to vegan. And so anyways, anytime we would meet, I would just do chips and salsa, and he's like, that's not enough. Like, he needs more substance and whatnot. But, so yesterday was just, wow. It was, yeah. How do you process that? How do you process that somebody that you were like a year ago, in a start of a form of a relationship, or, mingling and friends with benefits, whatever you want to call it, growing, and you meet his mother a year later and she hands you him in a bottle. I mean, wow. Just, it's wild how life can just smack you in the face, because yesterday after meeting and trying to talk, I felt very overwhelmed internally. Lots of energy that I may have felt, and this is all internally inside me, like these are my feelings, so no one per se can force a feel, right? But just like I wasn't feeling like I was like, maybe I'm not getting understood. Is this energy too much? Does she understand? Does she think I'm weird? Like, that's what's kind of, sometimes when I have so much info to share, I don't know how to share it, and it just comes out in my head or in my thought process chippy choppy. And so if it's chippy choppy, then does it even make sense, Luca. Anyways, yeah, yesterday was kind of a good, needed to happen. I was looking forward to meeting her because there was stuff that I felt like I might have been able to be helpful and give her some sort of answers or to some of the questions she may have had. In this past year, I've been trying to tread careful because my grieving may not always work with other people's grieving, and he was a well-loved man, and so, you know what I mean? Like, just sometimes your grief doesn't always match with everybody else's, and that's okay. I've learned that, and so I've just kind of been reserved and careful, trying to be careful in what I share and say, but I am an open book, and to the point where I just don't really, I'm getting to the point where I'm like spitting it out. Like, I straight told her, I was like, bless her heart, she was probably like, this girl's much, who knows, but I was trying to explain to her my love and connection that I had in the triangle of the two, of how Ketchup was brought into my life, and then the past guy that was like the love triangle that I talked about before. I try not to say names, but yeah, those two people were brought into my life from my dad. And so anyways, I was just basically telling her, like, in like a small roundabout way, is that I had daddy issues. And she was like, well, wait, like, you were abandoned? And I was like, oh yeah. Like, I just, like, I guess that's how I know it is daddy issues, like, and so I was just like, oh, this is so awkward. Like, I'm just open and honest, and like, some people there, I know it's a bit much because people just don't share this like that any, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And so anyways, I was just kind of like, as I'm looking at it, and I was like, wow, my life, like, I would have never imagined my life to be like that, looking like the way that I look at my Gemma chapter. Okay, let's call it that. Let's call it the Gemma chapter. I never oh, never fathomed that that would be a part of my life, or that I would make decisions to, be involved with multiple men, in a sense of a triangle, like, not together, not all at once, not like that, but like, when I had my time when one would stop by and be with me, it would be our time. We were together. We enjoyed our time. We'd go, if we did stuff, we went and did stuff. And that was that. And then vice versa, the other one. And it was just like that. They're two separate things. And these were two guys that came into my life because of my dad. And so he was trying to share all this to her, bless her heart. I know it might have been way too much. I know. I could have probably been a little bit more like, but I will say she's been on my social media for this year now. And so I'm sure she's kind of got a drift of my shenanigans and just, me a bit of it. I enjoyed my visit with her. It was needed. it definitely gave me an eye-opening, like, just how everything plays out. So, but yeah, getting his ashes, some of his ashes in a bottle crossed over, I don't know. Kind of was interesting to and still sit with. And then, yeah, that was a great visit. We sat for and visited for 2 hours and had lunch, and I felt good. I enjoyed meeting her. Like I said, nerves were there, but it was just because I think it was more so of the fear of just being understood, of all this energy that I'm dealing with internally and everything that I want to feel like I want to share. It's overwhelming. And so I'm in my own head, and like I had left and I'd gotten home, and then I messaged my twin flame, and my twin flame was even like, "What's up? Like, you can talk to me." And I was just telling him I'm very emotional. Kind of gave him like the time frame, like feels or reminiscing. Like, it's not like I'm not dreading and being like this like horrible morning. Like, he would not want us miserable. I know that. Like, I'm not miserable. I'm saddened. I'm grieving, and that's okay. But anywho, I was just telling him that so he can kind of understand where I'm at emotionally, if he was interested. And he did ask, like, he was just like, I do care about what's going on in your heart. And so when I was hearing that, it was sweet and kind. And then a part of me was just like, I just need to get over the fact that people, I guess I just get worried about sharing my thoughts and my feels of what others, I don't know why I worry in that sense. I guess I just feel like people just don't really ultimately care what's going on in my head and my world and how I feel. And so when he's asking me like what's going on, and a part of me wanted to talk to him and like get a connection, like have him, like, I guess, be that friend and like resonate with it, or be like, I totally get it. But sometimes, I guess maybe that's why I stopped sharing on some things in certain areas, is because I not worry about what other people think or say, but just, how they perceive me, how I perceive myself. Interesting. So yeah, I just was like, I'm okay. Like, I'm okay. There's areas that I'm trying to explain everything that's going on. Okay, so let me try to explain this, because this might be crazy, but this got back into when I went and met Ketchup's mom, and then I was talking to her. It was weird. Okay, so first, on the way up there, right now, sunflowers are not in bloom. They're been frozen off and gone. And on my way up there, it's an hour drive. I basically was like, please, can you give me the sign? I need a sign. I don't need a sign. I ask for signs because it's what helps me. And so lo and behold, I got a sign. And it was a sign, it was at a mile marker or a post or whatever, and it was wrapped with sunflowers. Plastic sunflowers. But they were sunflowers. And so sunflowers play into a role because a while back ago, intuition, spirit, my team, led me into, it said sunflowers. Like, I thought it was maybe I was reading it in the sense that I felt that it was that when I was talking to his mom on that day that she needed to be mindful of a sunflower. And that's what I felt compelled to tell her. I had not, like, I don't make, I'm not trying to guide anybody in any sort of direction on their journey. That's their journey. So I wasn't trying to give her any form of hope. This was literally something that was compelled to push, to share with her, of a sunflower. And so, anywho, she was trying to resonate with it and whatnot, and she just was like, nothing. Well, she ended up getting one on her birthday. She got a flower, like cute little bouquet thing. She sent me a picture of it. Roses, beautiful other flowers, and one sunflower. So, it touched her. It may not resonate with her just as much, but it resonated to me, because it was just like, when she shared that with me, I was just like, okay. And then the drive up there today, or yesterday, like I said, yesterday was October 15th. And so, like, all the highway, like, flowers, we had kind of like a freeze, or it dropped down a couple days ago, whatever. And so those just kind of went down. And there's, no actual sunflower in the blooms. And then, lo and behold, I see sunflowers wrapped around this little, it's near a mile marker. It's one of those, like, state signs or whatever. And so that was just like, thank you. Like, thank you. That's where I appreciate that. I love it. I'm so grateful and blessed that the universe and my spirit team and Ketchup's energy is just there to guide me and help me with that validation. So talking to her, I was like, I shared that with her, and sometimes my moments of my signs of, like, the 143, or seeing a sunflower, or hearts in the sky, or elephants in the sky, whatever it is, my signs that I see, because I see a lot of them, and I like to share them. Some people, it's just like, okay, it's like a bit too much, like, a bit too much. Well, imagine me trying to explain the twin flame journey and saying, like, oh, that was just awkward. Because she had basically asked if I'm moving on with my life. And I was like, oh, definitely. I said, I've met my twin flame. And I was like, I met my twin flame before Ketchup passed. And this is when it was like the aha awakening to me, in the sense of, it all confirms it now. Because typically with the twin flame, you meet your twin flame. And then within a period of time of meeting your twin flame, you have this dark soul of night. And this dark soul of night is like a huge trigger. And then you just start having this peel back spirit. They call it a spiritual awakening. And this is what I'm dealing with, this pulling it piece by piece, unraveling the way you were raised, unraveling society, unraveling it all. Like, it literally is a spiritual awakening. And then the ego death, because here it is, my ego is, I met my twin flame and I want a relationship and I want, like, and I want something. That's an ego thing. That is all fucking ego. And so, yeah, I'm human. I'm still going to have an ego, right? We all, I mean, we're here. We have your titles are your egos, what you are is your ego. So, I just, trying to explain that is hard. That's where I'm at. I'm like, this is where I'm at in my life. I'm having this spiritual awakening. It may have not come out as easy as understanding, because bless her heart, she was asking if I was just moving on, and I'm like, yeah, like I am. Trust me, like your son, I love your son, and I will continue to, grieve him, but I'm still moving on with my life. Like I'm still gonna, I'm not gonna stop, if I was to meet somebody, in that sense. And that's what I told her. I said, I am currently involved with my twin flame, and it's just, and so she was like, oh, good, so she was happy to hear that. And I told her, hers and mine relationship, she just didn't want our friendship to interfere in my future. And I was like, never, no. So yeah, it's just interesting. And that me trying to share that with her, I was feeling maybe the energy that I felt was like, it was overwhelming or it was too much. Like, and I understand. And so that's where I was just like, okay, whoa, like, no, go, Luca, take your bone and go elsewhere. He's trying to chew a bone right here. No, go on with it. So yeah, it just, when I was talking to her and then on my way home, I was just like, oh, this is just like, it's so weird how it just kind of played out. Everything's played out and how everything's standing in front of me. And I'm just trying to make it make sense. And others would be like, what does it matter? No, if you got stuff going on in your head and you need to make it make sense, there's a reason. There's a reason why we all go through what we go through. Legit, seriously. No ands, ifs, or buts. Everything we go through, there's a lesson. And when you start living this life like I am, it's pretty cool. So if you've lived this life all your life, like learning from your lessons, you're amazing. Because I didn't know that you're supposed to be taking lessons from life, or everything, literally everything. You're supposed to take lessons from them. You're supposed to take, whether it's tiny or big, there's lessons. And a lot of lessons I kept inside. And so now it's like I'm coming out and I'm like, when I'm around people, and maybe I'm just feeling a little overwhelming for myself, in the sense of, what others think. I really don't care, but I do care. So weird. Also, too, today makes the year mark that my best friend walked out of my life because of the frustrations of my truth and my honesty to her. So I can understand why I think her visual of unblocking me in my messenger box. The other day I was cleaning up my messages or whatnot, and had seen that she had unblocked me, and that of course I looked at the time frame, and yeah, so today exactly makes the year mark of when she walked out of my life, because at that point I had told her, I know she wasn't very healthy. She was involved on a side that I don't want to say was necessarily against me, but the other drama part of my life that I've gotten over is the ex that abused me. Well, anyways, the ex's wife, like, I know, that she was befriending all of that. She was a part of that circle, so she was friends. And so when that drama hit, she was trying to be protective of me. I could already see this in her head and how she was thinking. She was trying to be protective of me, but also get information at the same time. And as she was doing that, it was setting me in a certain way, because I don't want to say I felt betrayed, but I did. I felt lied to. And so I just pulled myself and I unfollowed her media, because I just didn't want, she was still friends with that person, and I was tired of seeing that person's love and likes and comments like literally would purposely go on, just knowing that that's my best friend, and would go do that. So it was childish to me. And so I was like, well, the only way I can, like, either one, I can stay and play the childish games and go, banter back and forth and do this, or I could be an adult and just talk to my best friend and just be like, hey, you said you removed her. I'm not trying to cause any drama, but like, if this is what you choose, that's fine, but I'm just going to unfollow right now because I don't need to see her in my space. Like, I don't need to have that in my space. And that girl was using her to get at me. Like, that's what it's pettiness. And the unhealed Jen would have been maybe caught to that pettiness, a portion of it. And I have no desire, none. I don't waste my energy on that doesn't pertain to my life. And that group no longer pertains to my life. And so anyways, I told her that I unfollowed her, and that didn't sit well with her. And I get it. I understand. She was not in any form of place herself to listen to her best friend say, hey, I unfollowed you. I didn't unfriend her though. Like, I've always been loyal. But that didn't sit well with her. So she just was like, block, 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 block. Like, I was like, okay, it is what it is. Like, and I just know that at that time she wasn't healthy to fix it, and that's okay. Yeah, I've missed her, and I still miss her, and I just don't know if even having her come back in my life is ultimately what needs to happen. I'm not reaching out. No desire at this time. I really don't. She's the one that walked out of my life, and hey, bye. You walk out, bye. Like, I've had a lot of people walk out of my life. I'm just tired of chasing. I'm tired of, I'm not meant for everybody for the entire life, and that's okay. We all aren't. You know what I mean? We really aren't. I kind of was sitting there thinking about it the other day, and I was like, oh, the memories come flooding in, and the moments come where I really miss having that support and whatnot. But I also look back at it, and I'm like, how unhealthy some things were. And so, yeah, it's just interesting. Hey, but I'm very proud of myself. I have grown and come a long way. Done some healing, and the spiritual journey you guys, I don't know. How do I, sometimes it's so much, it's like, how do I handle this? So if you ever see me in that sense, please know that it's just, the energy internally is just so much, and it's like, I don't know how to express it. I don't know how to balance it smoothly out, because it just, the connection, the internal, I don't know, connected to the light, the source, like I was trying to explain before, and some people are like, okay, weirdo. Just know that there is so much more to us than the human life. There really is. Okay, I think I'm gonna jump off here because, yeah, that's just pretty much what's in the last of my, not in the last of my, but in my most current forefront is, I met Ketchup's mom yesterday for lunch, and it was a week from his, passing date, a year mark of his passing date. And then to kind of piece together and sharing how I felt, and it's just overwhelming. And it goes back to being like the whole thing of not being enough, but I am enough. That's what I'm saying. I'm figuring it all out, trying to figure it out, is why certain things or places in my life not feeling enough. You know what I mean? Like trying to piece it all together. I am enough. I'm pretty kick-ass. I mean, I've been through some shit. Like, I always have to, not always, but I always do that to myself. I'm like, you're pretty kick-ass, Jen. You've been through some shit. Like, and you're still going. Like, don't fucking let this little bit of the overwhelming energy take you down now. Like, don't let this start playing mind. You know what I mean? Like, you've been through it. You can continue to go. I am, but I'm just saying it's just like piecing it together. Because like I said, everything we go through is a lesson. And so I'm just learning it, trying to figure it out. Anyways. Okay. You guys have a great day. I'm gonna go have a great Sunday. I'm happy. I'm healthy. I'm loved. And I'm enough. I love you all. Thank you for being here. But most importantly, I love myself. Bye.